Before we get going into the video, my name is Brando. For the new viewers, I'm the founder of Brandlux Media. We are an e-commerce growth agency. We've been able and so fortunate to work with 100 plus partners. And so the reason I started this channel is to document every framework that I know is proven to work and that actually work, so that you can get some value from it and, hopefully make your business a success. With no further ado, I hope you enjoy this video. This video is going to be a different one because what I'm going to do is bring you through a business doing $50,000 to $60,000 a month, of course, an e-commerce business. And then I'm going to show you exactly what their numbers are, what they're doing with their strategy, and why they cannot break through that $200,000, $300,000, $500,000 a month. In fact, what I'm going to do in this video is bring you through the exact frameworks and changes that I would implement to 10x the business, so that you can implement these same exact frameworks and just way of thinking, right, and way of analyzing the business, so that you can, of course, once again, 10x your e-commerce business and your e-commerce brand, okay? With no further ado, let's get right into the video. I have a lot to cover. Great, so before we get into this video, if you are a new viewer, and you probably are, most likely are, just to give you some context about who I am and what I do, I work with businesses that generate, multiple six, most of the times 7 and 8 figures. So this is just one of our clients. They do $50,000 a day in sales. Let me just refresh so you know this is real. But just so you know, these are the types of caliber of clients that we're used to working with, optimizing funnels. Whenever we do anything that we do, creatives, funnels, email marketing, it's for these types of businesses. So we know exactly what are the things that move the needle forward and scale businesses to multiple 7 and 8 figures. So with that in mind, and with the proof out of the way, let's just get into analyzing this business that is currently doing $50,000 a month. So the methodology that I want to use in this kind of video, which is honestly a new one, a new format or type of video that I usually do in my YouTube videos, is kind of give you a current situation and what the business was doing and why it was pretty much breaking even. As you can see, the net margin was around 3 to 4%, and they didn't even have fixed costs. So agencies, it was just them and their brother and somebody else, and they didn't have a lot of expenses. So they were able to scale to $50,000. The profit margin was actually more like 10, 15, 20%, but gradually over time, the cost just went up. It didn't make any sense for with the business economics. And then eventually they got to a point where they were making barely profit and still $50,000, $60,000 a month. So what I'm gonna do is bring you through the current situation. I'm going to bring you through the improved situation, what is needed what changes are needed to actually move the needle forward and scale the business. And then I'm going to show you the results at scale if we improve the metrics, right? So this is the current, we improve the metrics. Once we improve the metrics, how are we able to get to that next level? Because improving the metrics with the same infrastructure is not going to really change too much. It's going to allow you to really profit. So maybe going from $50,000 and like 5% profit to like maybe $70,000 or $100,000 with like 10, 20, 30% in profit margins. That's improving the business. But how do you get to that next level, 500K a month? I'm going to talk about in this column, and then I'm going to share a bunch of other things over here just to show you. Whoops. I have a bunch of different things to show you over here. Oh my God, what is going on? Cats. And then what I'm going to do over here, and this other sheet is pretty much bring you through kind of like the before, which is the red version over here, the red columns, and the after, what the business actually needs to do to change and get to that next $400,000, $500,000 a month. So let me fulfill on the first promise, and let me just discuss kind of the business so you have a better understanding of what they're doing. So the business, $50,000 a month. We're always assuming a 2% return rate. 2% of people don't like the product. This was at least their number. They're spending $30,000. So their overall, MER was like 1.7. They're making $50,000, spending $30,000. Business MER, which is like the business ROAS, was close to 1.7, as you can see here. And so their CPMs are $20, a bit higher on the higher side. They were actually doing US, Canada, so like expensive countries, and then of course other countries as well. But the average was around a $20 CPM. What is the CPM? If you don't know, CPM is the cost per 1,000 impressions, okay? And so if the CPM, let's just say, goes up, just to 25, as you can see, the business, it's more expensive to have 1,000 impressions, and so the business loses even more. So just to give you an understanding of how much this data matters. Now the CTR wasn't great at all. It was 1.3. Typically, to get businesses to really scale, we need to aim, of course it depends from the CPM, but assuming the CPM is $20, we need to aim for like a 3 to 4% kind of CTR, and so that we can have a solid cost per click. Because if the cost per click is like $2 or like expensive, it becomes really hard to scale the business, even if the economics of the business are quite okay. Now going forward over here, their conversion rate was 3.5% and their average order value was $75. Now one quick thing to note here is that these are not Shopify metrics. Okay, these are metrics on the ad account. Okay, on the ad account, you can add columns, and within the columns, you can add customized columns like conversion rate and average order value. This conversion rate over here is basically the number of purchases divided by the clicks. So not sessions, just clicks. So just keep in mind, even if these two these two proportions, like this, the average order value and the conversion rate, seem quite healthy, on Shopify, it's quite a lot lower. I'm not sure exactly what was theirs, but it's quite a lot lower. So what we want to aim here on the ad account itself, since we're not counting into sessions, is like higher numbers like 4 or 5%, 6%, and then of course the average order value is going to stay the same because it's the same as Shopify ones. But once again, just so I didn't lose you, why is it lower on Shopify? Why is the conversion rate lower on Shopify? Well, because there's more sessions and people come back, right? Well, the ad account doesn't count that, right? So very quickly now here, we talked about this. And so at the end of the day, their COGS and their shipping and their merchant fee was basically getting around like a 38%. So if they're selling a $100 product, $30 like for sale, that was the selling point of the product, $100. $30 was their COGS. $5 was for shipping, and then of course $3 was for anything else, the processing fee, so the merchant and credit card fees. And so this allowed them to basically have a break-even point of around 1.6, okay, 1.6 ROAS. So that's their break-even. Now I don't want to confuse you too much here, but this is essentially what their situation. Now let's talk about the improved version. What do we actually need to do? Let me put myself over here. What do we need to do to improve this business? Now, what I did over here is very simple. I kept the business at the same level with the same exact ad spend, the same exact CPMs, okay? But we improved the ads. And, we didn't go from 1.3 to like 10%. We went from 1.3 to 2.5%, okay? A very reasonable change, okay? And this allowed them to drastically have lower cost per clicks. And then of course we also increased the conversion rate because I think we should be able to achieve at least a 4%, 5% on the ad account level. And we also focus on increasing, so we got this number from 3.5% conversion rate on the ad account, remember, not Shopify but the ad account, to 4%, and then the AOV from $75 to $80, which isn't even like a super drastic change, okay? And not even to mention, if we bring this to $85, the business profits even more, so 34%. I'm actually going to leave it at this because it's quite reasonable. They had their AOV, their actual main source and product was around like $65, so not a lot of people were buying a lot more, but I think because of that price point, we're probably able to bring it up to $85 if we implement some CRO or conversion rate optimization tactics. Everything is going to be discussed later in the next part of the video. Either way, just by changing these numbers, look at the profit of the business. And of course, I also added a retainer just in case they were working with an agency. Like the ideal situation is that you work with maybe whether it's in-house or you hire somebody else, you're gonna have some fixed costs. So even with the fixed cost, you have a 34% margin from 39 to 34%, basically a 10x in their profit margins. And of course, we basically doubled, almost tripled their revenue, okay? And these are healthy numbers. This is what we need to scale to that next level. What does scaling to the next level mean? This is what it means. We assume that as we scale, okay, as we increase the ad spend, and scale the ad account, it's going to get more expensive, more competition, just more expensive in terms of cost per clicks, right? And so let's just assume that the CPM goes up by 5. So that's, what is it, like 20% or 25%. So which is pretty significant. Let's just assume that the CTRs stay the same, 2.5, the improved version, right? And then the conversion rate stays the same, AOV stays the same. Let's just say over here that it's $80 without doing something crazy. So the margins drop to 32%. So $80 even over here. And then all of these other metrics stay the same. Just take a look at this business, how that's profiting with a 26% margin. I increased payroll because, of course, you need a hire, like, to get to this point. Of course, you can get there alone, but you probably need editors, agencies. Maybe the agency also gets a performance fee, right? So I'm just assuming that they have a $20,000 kind of like fee. Maybe they have a production. As you scale, you maybe want to get a production studio or an office, right? So who knows what. Total fixed fees increased by 15,000, reasonable. And then this is basically their margin, right? Once again, one note to say, these are not Shopify numbers, they're ad account numbers. Now let's go through exactly how do we go from this improved version, which is essentially just going from like correcting like CTR and conversion rate and AOV, right? How do we scale this? Because we can't just like improve it and increase the budget. That's not how it works. So let's go over exactly the things that I would kind of change, and kind of like the before and after of a business to go from this current situation of $50,000 a month to $448,000 a month. Okay, basically a 10x. Let's go over this sheet very quickly, and let's start from over here. So first of all, what I noticed from the business is that their creative strategy was just not on point. They only tested image ads or like one specific creative concept, which allowed them to just have a very limited capability of testing what was working in the market. So they only, stands for creative concept. So they only tested one. And it was maybe a bit different. So let's just say that they tested mostly images, because they did some testimonial image ads, features and benefits image ads, but nothing crazy. They're just only doing image ads. Maybe 5 or 10% of the videos of the creators were videos. So nothing crazy. And as I say here, the brand was not testing new creative concepts. They did not diversify and test new concepts. This was one of their biggest bottleneck. Now, the improved version over here, and what I would do is I would test many more creative concepts, not just one with slight variations. I would test 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What are creative concepts? Creative concepts is what I have over here, right? So POV style, before and after, AI script, ASMR video, X reasons why video, boomerang, reviews, unboxing, reaction videos, comment overload videos. All of these are creative concepts that can really allow you to scale while maintaining the cost per clicks, because as I said before, you can't just go from improving your metrics, amazing, to just increasing the budget. It doesn't work that way. You need to maintain that improved version of like the cost per click, or a healthy CTR, a healthy conversion rate, by adding multiple creative concepts. And if there's one extra thing that I would add eventually is add multiple layers of angles. So test multiple other angles, because they were just testing one. But either way, to get to 500K a month, you don't need like 50 million angles. But of course, if you test more angles, it's going to help you scale. One other thing that they just didn't do, to the point that I just mentioned, is they didn't like really expand into angles, and they didn't expand into creative concepts. Okay. One other thing that I would really recommend for them to do, and this is what I told them to do in the consultation, is to go from here to here. You need a systematized way to scale your UGC video ads. And so the infrastructure that I would use is essentially use B-rolls. So I would essentially hire UGC creators and have them do pieces film pieces of footage that are 3 to 10 seconds long, so that we can essentially send the editor. It all starts with the editor. We send the editor B-rolls. We send the editor an inspirational video, so that they know what we're looking to do, like what concept we're looking to replicate. And then, of course, we will send them the AI script, and then the editor will essentially give us and deliver the final video. This is by far the best and easiest process to pump UGC video ads at scale and achieve this many creative concepts and test this much, instead of just limiting yourself to just a couple here and there, which is going to affect your ad account. Moving forward, the funnel. They had a very simple funnel. They were selling a beauty product, just for context. And so with beauty products, many times this simple funnel of course works. Everybody uses this, but many times if you actually go with the advertorial route and you give more information, more context, it really helps with conversion. We have a beauty company, and we've tested this several times, and going to directly from ads to product page was working decently, but having more information and providing more value, and also adding an extra layer of retargeting, because this page in itself, before going to the product page, is a bunch of people are going to hop on here. In fact, all the people from ads are going to hop on this advertorial, and if they don't buy, or if they don't even land over here, we can still retarget them, because this page is ours. It's owned by us. It's not like an article from a third-party article. It's our article that we decided to create, and it has our pixel. So what we can do is that we can create other ads and then retarget those people into another advertorial, or perhaps the product page itself. So this is something that I would do to just basically improve metrics like conversion rate, and average order value, not really, mostly conversion rate. Just this is a conversion mechanism tactic, okay? So this is what I would focus on. And last but not least, I want to talk about offers, because this is really, really important. So the offer that they were testing before, let me just read what I wrote over here. Their offer was mostly selling the product and not really focusing on selling an entire solution. So it was, it still worked. As I say, it still worked because it was a great product, but more could have been done to increase both conversion rate and average order value by focusing on selling a full-on solution. And so this is a perfect example of a company that's really killing it with this methodology. And the company is called, I did a video about this company before, it's called Truly. So if you go on landing pages over here, if you go on landing pages here, you can essentially see all of their, so they have a BOGO offer, they have a buy 3, get 3 body butters for free. Let's take a look at that. They have another offer over here. They have a shaving offer over here. So they're selling complete solutions, you see? They're selling a complete solution, and this is always going to allow them to have increased, bump up the AOV and also bump up the conversion rate in some cases. And if the conversion rate just goes down because it's a higher price, still the higher price that people are willing to pay for because of a good offer is going to beat their proportions. So even if the AOV is like, the conversion rate just maybe go from like 3% to 2.5%, the AOV is going to completely outperform the past AOV, right, you had before. And so the economics, what I'm saying, the proportions at the end of the day are just going to make sense. And this alone would allow them to probably increase the conversion rate and the average order value to get healthier metrics that are more along these these metrics that you see over here. One other thing that you can do, which I really like with this company, how they're doing it, is that this is just a random example, but you can offer one solution and also give the option of buying a kit, a complete kit over here with a 15% off. And as you can see, I really like how it's displayed here, because here it tells you what they're getting. And then of course, if you get the beauty kit, which is a complete solution, you get more products, and maybe you can implement something in between this and in between this, where they get, free products, free stuff, and the offer is just a lot more incentivizing. So overall, I just wanted to do this quick video. This is, at the end of the day, what I think this brand should focus on. As you can see here, freebies to increase perceived value and sell a complete solution, or at least give the option to sell a complete solution so people can convert at higher rates, and also increase the average order value. One other thing that I would do, which is pretty much what the other company that I just showed you, Truly, is doing with the multiple offers, is testing multiple offers, because what you want to do is distribute your risk as much as possible. And chances are, if you're on the same product, the same offer, the same angles, the same everything, eventually your ad account is going to get saturated, your audience is going to get saturated. They're going to see the same things, and also Facebook is realizing that you're doing the same thing, same ads, same offers, and your cost per clicks and your CPMs and your CTR is going to go down. It's just like your business is slowly going to gradually go down. Now, of course, you can run one offer. I'm just saying, if you run multiple offers, you can just find more opportunities to maintain that ROI and distribute your risk, which is what I would personally do. So these are the exact same steps that I would do to improve conversion rate. Let's go over them very quickly once again. The creative strategy, basically do more to decrease cost per clicks, increase CTR, and just have stronger ad account metrics to scale. Funnels mostly to increase conversion rate. This is a very strategic conversion mechanism that not a lot of people are doing. And if you're not in the beauty industry, you can still use it. You can do it for any type of business. You can do advertorials that are 5 reasons why. 5 reasons why 10,000 customers bought this bra. I don't know, this special bra. You can do it for apparel, for selling bras, for selling hair products, anything that you want. The advertorial strategy works. And then of course the offer overall is going to be a mechanism of increasing both conversion rate and average order value. Now there's also one thing that I did not mention over here, is that their metrics on their email marketing, these are just some notes that I had, is that the metrics of their email marketing were just not very healthy. They had like 12%. So I also assumed over here, let's just assume that the numbers are maybe not as good as this example. There was still an opportunity to increase and get to these numbers of profit margins with this scale. And maybe it's not this, maybe it's 20%, 25%, but it's still quite healthy with an improved email marketing system. So going from 12% to at least 20% to 25%, which is what you should expect. So if a business is doing $1 million, you should expect around 200,000, 250,000 just coming from email marketing. Why was this business just doing 12%? Well, they were sending only one email every couple of weeks, and they didn't have all of their pre-purchase flows, and they didn't even clean their list, and so they were just doing 10-12% of revenue from Klaviyo, and because of that reason alone, they're losing 10%, 20% of revenue. And so, this is my observation. I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to see the feedback of this video and see if it makes sense and other people enjoy it. But that's it for this video, and nothing. Once again, the whole foundation of this video was that I gave you a current state, give you an improved state, and how to get this improved state to results that actually can scale while maintaining the improved version. Because once again, you can't just increase the budget. It doesn't work like that in business most of the times. And then of course give you some kind of like before and after situations, current version, improved version. Let me know if you liked this style of this video. Once again, or not once again, just for the first time saying in this video, if you want access to this sheet, let me know. Actually, don't let me know. You can just click in the link below in the description. It's going to send you to an opt-in page. Give us your email, and then automatically you're going to receive this kind of like call it what do I call it? ROI calculator. And by the way, there's also a bunch of other sheets like a daily report, creative concepts, how do we track our ads, ad copies, visuals. This is the exact sheet that we use to scale our clients to 7 and 8 figures. It's like a documentation sheet where you can just literally document your entire journey and track creatives, performance, and a bunch of other things. Okay, let me know if this video was valuable. If you do like this format, it really helps me kind of like with future content, and see you in the next video. Bye. On a side note, before I end it off here, if you actually own an e-commerce business and you want your business and your brand to be audited, we can just hop on a call, hop on a free strategy session with myself or one of my team members, and we can pretty much have a conversation about your roadmap towards the next year and how perhaps you can reach your goals. The conversation is very laid back. It's honestly just to understand if there's an opportunity for us to do even business together one day. Okay, with no further ado, thank you once again, and who knows, maybe see you in the next masterclass.